Thanks for staying with us on the conversation. The first half, we dealt with situations in South Africa, where the Action National Congress in South Africa, founded in 1912 and the oldest party in South Africa, celebrated its 111th anniversary. And we talked about the issues of socio-economic development and the progress of the party. Right now, we switch gears as citizens of Benin Republic headed to the polls on Sunday for a parliamentary election to choose new lawmakers. With a population of 13 million in 2021, about 6.6 million voters were eligible to take part in Sunday's polls to elect 109 deputies across all constituencies. This poll was particularly different because it is the first time since 2018 that opposition parties reappeared on the ballot after being excluded or boycotting previous presidential and legislative votes. This move has been hailed by many as a way forward for democracy in a country that witnessed a crackdown on opposition parties as a response of President Patrice Talon's return to power in 2021. And now joining us for this conversation, we have Dr. Bertin Koovi, a spokesperson, the Republican Bloc of Benin Republic. Thank you so much for joining us on the conversation.
Thank you, Madam, for inviting me.
Thank you. Now, so for a lot of our viewers, we know that this election is noted as the first time since 2019 that the opposition is back on the ballot. So tell us, how significant was this parliamentary election?
Well, those who knows me, they know that I was the head of the opposition. I fought against Patrice Talon for 5 good years, and later I realized that if we continue that way, there will be a civil war in Benin Republic. We fought together while now with him for these opposition people to have opportunity to attend this election. But something is good to be mentioned here. The opposition parties now agree to work with the rule of law, to follow what they were refusing. In fact, what we were refusing together some years ago. Now, them being candidate is a sign that we are having a plural political voices in Benin Republic now. That's the most important I want to consider. The second, the election was free, fair, and with no violence. And that's what is very, very important. The third, when you consider the result, normally we were having 7 different political parties, but we have 3 that are merging. We have the Democrat Party that claim to be the opposition party, and you have 2 that are supporting Patrice Talon, but that are fighting each other. It's funny, we are in polygamy in politics in Benin. Our president has 2 political parties that are supporting him. Well, that's new experience for you in Benin Republic.
Okay, now, Dr. Koovi, you mentioned that the elections was violence-free and it was free and fair. Now, I would like to assess the turnout of voters for this parliamentary elections. Compared to other elections, how was the turnout?
What I will say, the people has not gone out to vote. That's the sad part of it. They have not gone to vote. And when we look at the result, we have 3 political parties that are having good result. The opposition party and the 2 parties that are supporting Patrice Talon. According to the law, we cannot talk about the result. We cannot comment even any vote so far because the law refuses to avoid that. But what we can talk about, the election was free, fair, and we have everybody free to go and vote, and that's what we can talk about. Now, I just want to say in Benin Republic, we don't have a parliamentary regime. If let's assume the opposition has 100% of the members of the parliament, this will not change our way of ruling the country because the president is so powerful according to our constitution that he's the one who decides. So even if we have 100% people from the opposition, they will not change his way of governance. But what we can do is we think the son of the same country to sit down and to talk, because there is no Beninese who love the Benin than other people. So we have to work together to get solution for our country.
Okay, now you talk about authoritarianism of Patrice Talon's governance. Now, I know that the mandate of the Constitutional Court ends this year. How crucial is this in the country?
No, can you repeat?
I said I'm talking about the Constitutional Court. Now, the tenure is ending this year. How critical is it for the development and the progress of democracy in Benin Republic? You talked earlier on about how much you fought so far to have opposition parties on the ballot paper. Now the Constitutional Court is going to end its tenure this year. How important is it?
Oh, I like that. You know about Benin than most of us. Anyway, that's true. It will have no influence in this. Why? In Nigeria, you have IBB, Babangida. I look at Patrice Talon to be a gambler in politics. When you look at the people on that opposition party, he put 40 people on their list. And when I'm talking about what people doesn't know, he has people of his members on their party. Therefore, as they are elected, they will come back home. That's one. Even if we forget that, when you take the two political parties that are supporting him, we have already the majority. So Patrice Talon will still decide who will be to the court or not. The opposition has no influence on what will happen very soon.
But what exactly changed? Now, when he came to power in 2016, he said that he would only have a 5-year tenure and that was it. But we saw in 2021 him being re-elected in power, and that caused a lot of uproar in Benin Republic. What exactly changed the status of Patrice Talon? Why did he go over and go for re-election again in 2019?
Madam, just try to give honey to your baby and you look at his face compared to when he's having milk. It is when you have not been on power that you have good agendas, or I will only do one term, and so on. Those who believe in that was wrong. Now he realized that the place is sweet. So he decided to continue. But he's building what other has not done. To be honest with you, I consider Benin as being in a dictatorship now. But being a dictatorship can be good, can be bad. But the dictatorship we are witnessing now is building the country. If you come to Cotonou, you go to the country, you will see roads, he's building many infrastructures. And I wish, as I'm concerned, he should even continue above the term of our constitution. So my wish is the opposition should join hand with his party and we change the constitution for him to continue building the country. You know, a country has to be built, and there is a time that the population have to suffer to agree for difficult period for the construction of the country. But constructing the country doesn't need necessarily people dying, people shooting each other. I agree with that. But I think stopping him for only 10 years will be something that I don't think useful for our country now.
Okay, I see where you're going to, but I know that a country still also follows the constitution. And if there's a 5-year term in power, a 10-year in power, then it's still left to the constitution and the people to decide if they want President Patrice Talon to remain in power. But still going along that line now, following the revision of the 2019 constitution, now, Dr. Koovi, a total of 24 seats were reserved for women, 1 per constituency. We're talking about seats reserved for women. Now, how has it improved female participation in the politics in Benin Republic?
Good. When they changed the constitution, now they have given 24 positions for women, and it is only for women at the parliament. That's one. The political party I'm representing, our candidates were 40% women and 50% young people. And Patrice Talon is encouraging all the parties that are supporting him to work with women, because you will remember, if you pay attention, the more you value women, the more you build a good country. If you look at your whole life, you will see most of what you succeeded came from the support of your mother. And we believe if we promote women, we will have a good Africa, we will have a developed Africa. Women are somehow more, it's difficult for women to steal money when they are in some position. Women have patience, responsibility, and they have discipline. In Benin, we have not seen that with men. So that's why we are promoting women leadership in politics, and we are at the starting point, and we believe it will continue increasing.
It definitely puts a bright smile on the faces of women when we see men talk about women leadership. Now, one of the giant strides you talked about President Talon's administration is talking about infrastructure growth. Now, aside that, we know that Benin, alongside neighboring Togo and Ivory Coast, has seen increasing attacks from armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Now, how has this been handled so far, and what is the level of regional security at the moment?
Good. Benin imported some weapons for the production. We also have an agreement with France. Of course, I'm supporting Patrice Talon, but I don't buy that. What Benin should do is Benin to have agreement with Nigeria, Burkina Faso. Well, Benin with surrounding countries should work together. And that's one. The second, people are going into terrorism because they are angry. You never see somebody having 1 million naira in his account who want to die for Allah or whosoever. So it's a matter of poverty. We should work on how we develop our economy, and you will see how this will disappear. The last thing I will say, that agenda is coming from outside. Other people want to use insecurity in our countries to bring their political policy or agenda in our countries. And we need to work together. This is not a matter of only one country or matter of the president. All the citizens have to work together. That's what we believe.
And in terms of economic development, how would you say President Talon has improved so far? I mean, he has been in power since 2016. What has been the level of growth in Benin Republic?
Okay, if you consider the figures of World Bank and IMF, you will say Benin is the best economy. But the fact is, when you ask questions to Benin citizens, most of them are complaining of dying of hunger or they don't have means. You know, you cannot build economy in only 7 years, even 10 years. That's why I'm thinking about having a way in our countries. Maybe our leaders at this time should spend 15 years, 20 years implementing a good economic policy, but not just be celebrated as a president. So Patrice Talon is doing well, but the problem is what he's doing has no influence directly now in the life of most of our people. It's sad, but it's a fact. I will not lie to you.
Okay, now, if you're looking at all this, talking about the economic development in Benin Republic, now, aside that, we looked at the fact that for the first time since 2016, oppositions were in the ballot papers. And we've seen that there's been a lot of talk of human rights abuses on the Talon's administration. What is the situation of things at the moment? Is it of press freedom for Benin Republic, or do we see have the opposition being stifled or the press being stifled in Benin Republic?
Okay, if you ask that question to some people, they will tell you we still have 89 people in jail. And I look forward to have them free. As myself, I was in jail because of politics, in exile for 5 years. But if you want to make a peace, you have to consider that you also need to make a step. We are asking our brothers who are in jail today to have a path of peace, and we will see how we will convince the president to the justice to free them. We are thinking about having a law at the parliamentary that will nullify all the situations, so the people of the same country will work together. We will forgive each other and move for a new step and a new era in Benin Republic. That's
now,
what I have.
Quickly, before I let you go, you talk about convincing the president. Is it about convincing the president or making sure that the president and the executive allows the judiciary to do their work and their thorough investigations? And if these people are not guilty of what has been placed for them, then they should be released. So are you saying that the president is more powerful than the Constitution, than the rule of law, or than the judiciary? Because you use the word convincing the president.
You know, madam, you are talking from Nigeria, and you may hear some of how you call it, Yoruba. In Yoruba, they say Babani Babanje, and a president in our country is the Kabiesi. Good. If we consider the judicial situation, most of them are condemned. We are in Africa. I will not say more than that. There still be a way, despite the justice has condemned them, there will be a way for the people of the same country to sit down and see how we can have freedom to those who make some political mistakes, as I did. As I'm telling you, I spent 6 months in jail. In fact, I want to thank Nigeria, President Babangida Buhari, who intervened in my case. And the United Nations also intervened, and I was free from jail in Equatorial Guinea. We are asking the same to change their land. You can't, when somebody is stronger than you, you don't give him chance to have a right than you. And this is the same thing for Nigeria, for any African country. We have to consider our culture and remember that Babani Babanje.
Okay, so when are we expecting results from this election, finally?
In 3 days, let's say on Thursday, we should be having the results.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Bertin Koovi. Well, we'll look forward to Thursday for the result of the parliamentary elections and, of course, to future elections in Benin Republic. Thank you so much, Spokesperson, the Republican Bloc, Benin Republic, for joining us on this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Bye-bye.
And there you have it on the conversation on the first half. We dealt situations in South Africa, where we had discussions of the 111th ANC anniversary, a party founded since 1912 and still in power in South Africa. We just finished discussions in Benin Republic, where for the first time opposition parties are in the ballot paper since President Patrice Talon's administration started in 2016. And we look forward to the results of the parliamentary elections on Thursday. And that's a wrap on the conversation of today. I am Rita Omodia. Do join us again on Wednesday for another edition of The Conversation. Bye-bye.